There was actually just one more check, one final check. That guy totally did see Afghanistan, Sudan. We paused for a second. He's like, I brought you some ISIS stuff.
No.
Alright, good morning guys. It's now about 5 a.m. or something. In my backpack, I'm going to be carrying a whole bunch of foods from all over the Middle East, because I love Middle Eastern food and a lot of the spices you can't find back in the US. I'll talk about this later, but I'm really worried that when I get to the US, there's gonna be a lot of questioning because of the passport stamps I have from Sudan and Afghanistan and a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm guaranteeing you, as soon as they pull me aside for questioning on that, then they're gonna check my bags. And they don't take very kindly when you try to take food in. Okay, so I'm gonna finish packing, and then go grab a taxi and get over to the airport. But first I need to finish my warm croissant. Heading now into the terminal. The way the flights today is Royal Jordanian and then American Airlines, because I'm an American. Okay, let's go inside. All checked in, and a huge stack of paperwork. You know, I have to appreciate that here in Dubai, I can film in the airport and no one cares. Nobody's bothering me. They were laughing at all the cities in the US. I told them my city is named, it's literally called Thief River Falls, and the lady was just dying laughing. She couldn't believe that was real. All right, boarding. Thank you so much. Since I have this connection to the US, I need to make sure I get there with plenty of time, because it's like, it's gonna take a while, because every time any flight that goes directly to the US, there's a lot of security, usually, typically. Just for the record, I really do like this airport, but Jordan just gave me bad vibes from the beginning. But it's actually a really beautiful airport. It's really nicely built, and some really nice views of the planes. I have to mention that you have to be really careful recording here. Last time we were here, Shubin was just recording for fun, and they detained him over it, and they didn't delete all the footage and everything. So, sorry you're not going to get much from Jordan Airport, Jordan Amman. Again, the security guy is pacing around. Even though we're in the secure area, this is the secure area that for American flights. He's coming back. But this secure area, he's walking around with even a gun inside this American secure area. Coming into the American secure area, they had to go through a second layer of metal detectors, and then they did a full body pat down. Okay, so I was one of the last people on the plane. Take a look at the plane though. Literally like empty. All the way up there too. Empty, 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 empty. I think perhaps in this section, there's only 4 people. I counted all of them that quick. And literally this is so comical. There's literally only 4 people. I went to my assigned seat, and there's someone that's sitting in my assigned seat. It's like, dude, like there was literally like 60 options of seats. I picked the one that was mine. Anyway, but it's fine, because I was gonna pick a different seat anyway. I always like to sit next to the emergency exit, because I'm a hero. In the meantime, I'm just gonna sit in this empty row, and I'm going to wave at all my neighbors, because there's a lot of people on this flight. Surprisingly, I can't sit in the one seat that I was sitting up here in the exit row, because like I said, I like to be the hero, and I like to have someone there just in case they need something to fix it. But he said no, it's an emergency row, and they need to like go through extra training and all that for me. Like they need to tell me, I just don't want to do it, so I just move back one row. So move back to this whole row. He said that there's exactly 58 passengers on this flight. 58, which is actually, that's really small, really, really small. I don't know how they're making money on it. Okay. Sayonara, I think that's how you say. See you later. morning, guys. We arrived here in Jordan. Here's the captain. Thank you.
Oops, I put
Thank
my
you.
signature.
And there's captain. But we just arrived in Chicago O'Hare, otherwise known as Ordway. What really made my heart melt, because I've been out of the US for half a year now. Last time I was here there was snow. What made my heart melt is that as the plane came in for landing, it tilted to turn in. And then I just get to see directly down into like the suburbs, just like normal houses. And it just kind of was like, that was like real America, where it's like got water towers, everything. Also, everything is in English again. It feels so odd. Some things that I expect though is that there's a few different things. One, probably most important, is like loud Americans. I don't say arrogant, but like just like Americans, like we like to talk loud. And I expect there's kind of like a little bit of chaos. I don't like the customs place here in Chicago because it's always like a really long wait. But sometimes, like this flight, because there's only like 50 people on, maybe there's not many people and it's gonna go really quickly because there's like no tourists coming to the US right now. Okay. The exact word, I was just talking to Shubham, the exact word is bittersweet. That's exactly how I feel. Bittersweet. It feels kind of sad to stop traveling, at least for now, like for like 20 days. But it feels really nice to be back home. Like I was saying earlier, this is classic Chicago airport. It's probably going to be at least a good hour of waiting. This line just keeps zigzagging back and forth for 5 layers. I think there's like a 70 to 80% chance I'm going to be questioned why I'm going to Sudan, why I'm going to Afghanistan and everything. But we'll see. Maybe they just won't notice. Something extraordinary happened. As I was going through, you saw how massive the line was. There was actually only like 4 border people that were actually checking it. So it's just such a long line. It took like an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's what happens every time you come to the United States, just the record. Like I've never seen it like fast. It's always miserable. But since there was such a long line, they were just trying to push people through as quick as they could. She just took my form, she just stamped it. She didn't even look at the thing. She didn't even like, actually I haven't declared on there that I was bringing food, which that's supposed to be a big no-no, like because pests and that kind of stuff. But no, she didn't even notice any of it. So she just stamped it, okay, welcome back. She didn't even say welcome back actually. I think it was just like, okay. Wow, I'm amazed actually, that usually doesn't happen. But that doesn't mean that the problem with those stamps is done, because the problem will persist, especially when I go to like a country like Israel, that's going to be on there for a long time. And every time they see it, they're going to be asking, why did you go to Afghanistan? Why did you go to Sudan? Here's my bag. Oh. And amazingly, wow, good transfer. They didn't check it. They didn't check it. Okay, we're all good. Now I have to go check in because I have 2 more flights. Miserable. Okay, let's go. There was actually just one more check, one final check. That guy totally did see Afghanistan and Sudan. We paused for a second. He's like, and then he just was like, okay, just go. I don't think he wanted to go through the whole process of checking. Welcome to sunny Chicago. It's pretty decent weather. Terminal 3. Yes, sir. Thanks, man. You want to, you know, going through this security, that was probably some of the best security I've ever gotten through Chicago. That was so quick, so nice, so easy. Oh, actually, I just about forgot now that I'm talking about it. I just about forgot.
I saw you. I'm like, I do.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Oh, how can I ever forget to come with? Oh, I never carry instruments. That's why it's problematic. But you want to see a casualty of COVID? This is a casualty of COVID. Look at this. All the departure flights. These are the only departures today. It's only like literally like 10 flights going out of Chicago here. That is a really, really small amount. But I have to walk a long way because my flight is boarding K10, wherever that is. Yeah. I usually love coming to Chicago because there's the pianos here, but unfortunately I don't have time to play the pianos right now. There is no direct flight to Minneapolis. Literally the place I'm going is like a 6-hour drive from here, but in order to get there I'm going to be flying all the way across the country and then flying all the way back. It's so stupid. Okay, let's go to the gate. But I want to show you guys something real quick, because here in the US, I'd say half of the states or so, marijuana is legal, but in the other half or so, it's not really legal. And so sometimes you can come for a state where it actually is legal, and sometimes it's not. So when you're arriving, just in case, you can throw away your weed there. Hello, welcome back. This is a very long adventure. I'm very sorry, and thank you for waiting all the way into this video. Thank you for sticking with me. We're almost to the end. If I have to go through it, you have to go through it as well. But now we're just about to get into a flight to Charlotte to go to the other side of the United States, and then I'll fly back to Minneapolis. But I always like to be the very last person on the flight because maybe there's an easier chance for an upgrade. I've never had that happen, though. It's not a good excuse. I just like, I don't like to sit on the plane and just wait with a whole bunch of other smelly people like you're sitting on a bus. I just like to get on, just so you can get on the flight and go. Yeah. I don't like to be sitting there while everyone else is trying to shove their bags in and they're waiting in line in the aisle, you know, everyone's trying to turn on the air thing and everything. No, I'll just wait. Okay, final boarding. Now I can go. Because I know it's probably, I'm guessing we're at like 17 minutes at this point. You can check the timestamp. I thought you were talking about me. No one cares about recording in the US. So nice. Such a big difference. I can record police officers here and nobody cares. It's totally normal. Anyway, so I'm going to keep this part really short. The only thing I'll say about Charlotte is that they have a really nice atrium out there that's nice to chill in. Some cool rocking chairs actually, which is very southern. And there's also a guy that usually plays piano that has a really nice voice. We'll see whatever happens. I'm gonna try to get some food. The next flight is in an hour and a half or something. Like I said, I'll try to keep it short. I'm so sorry, it's dragging out so long. Okay, so this is the atrium area I was talking about. Okay, so I sat down to get some dinner here, and today's dinner we got a Powerade, a chef salad. My question is, how much should this cost? Because usually, I know like in other countries I could get $3. Sounds like pretty reasonable, or $2 maybe even. In the United States, this is $16.32. Welcome home. At this point, the sleepiness is really starting to get to me because now I've been traveling since, it's going on almost exactly 2 days. I still got my ticket. My tickets were printed by Royal Jordanian actually, so they're all in Arabic. Hey.
And your boarding pass right here. Oh, hold on. Brayden, you are in a window.
Sweet, thank you so much. Alright, that was the most important part. It is actually still a window seat. It looks like actually it's a pretty full flight. There's only like 4 extra seats on the entire plane. They're all middle seats, of course. Okay, let's go. One last flight. I think this one's about 2 hours and 41 minutes. So I'll arrive at midnight 30, but it's actually with the time change, blah blah blah, question mark. Okay, this is what I like to see. We're gonna just walk on the plane and go sit down. Perfect. Okay, let's go. Okay, my brother's outside. Let's go see him. Okay, so while we're just waiting for the bags, you know, actually, I'm usually used to talking so loud, but just because I'm in Minnesota, I want to tone down because it's my home and people might know me. But while we're waiting for the bags here, I think it's worth talking really quickly about what I kind of think about coming home. So obviously, I love traveling. I love adventure, and coming home always feels kind of sad. Perhaps because I've been traveling for like 3 or 4 years, but when I started traveling, it was because I was skipping school or something, skipping college, and I had to come back to school. So every time I came back home, it was because I was coming because I had to work, or I had to go to school or write essays or finals or something like that. So there's always some kind of like negative connotation in my mind for when I have to go home. And so somewhere in the back of my head that still kind of exists. So when I think about going home, I'm thinking like, it's like I'm not gonna be traveling for a few months, or like I have to go back to work. But that's really not entirely true. Like I'm planning on only staying home for like 3 weeks or like a month or something like this. So this is like the bittersweetness. I look forward to, most importantly, family. Family is number one, because also I have 10 siblings. So all the siblings, I miss them. I'm really curious, how they're going to look. If they're going to sound different, and there's always something new going on in their life. And I'm curious about my parents, my grandparents. You wonder if someone has more wrinkles than the last time you saw them, something like this. But second off, then I really miss music, being able to be around music so easily, and also like being around the Western kind of music that I like, classical music, because that doesn't really exist if I go to like Afghanistan, or if I'm in Africa, then you won't be able to find classical music, or pianos really. And then probably third most, I miss just American cultural things, American foods, this kind of stuff. Probably foods most importantly. My favorite foods, I miss like Chick-fil-A, I miss Popeyes, I miss Taco John's. Like, not like they're good, but like, or I shouldn't say that. I mean, like, but like, yeah, if you want like real Mexican food, yeah, you should go to Mexico. But American Mexican food is different. It tastes really good. So I miss that. I miss like being able to drive down the interstate, going 80 miles an hour, and not worrying that there's going to be a kid that walks out in the middle of the road, or there's going to be cows, or the road just stops in the middle of nowhere. And it's like the small things. Like, for instance, like in the United States, if there's an ambulance coming, then all of the street lights, they'll all switch red, and just the ambulance will give them a green light to go through, so the ambulance doesn't have to stop. It's like small things like that don't really exist in other countries. It's like small comforts, this luxury kind of stuff. So I'm going to leave it there, but you kind of get where I'm coming from. So like I said, my brother's over here getting at the bag. If it comes, we'll see. Okay, Brock is parked a little bit farther down here. Alright, so we made it home now. And we have Isla! Come here, Isla! This is their dog. And
Wait, should we be on your like YouTube?
What?
Like 50,000?
Wait, hold on. I got another business call. Oh, one minute.
he's a real proper American businessman. Isla is the real champion here. So they painted her tail pink. She matches my Camus. Remember, Faith,
US dollar.
remember how I told you guys I did bring you illicit stuff? I brought you some ISIS stuff.
No. I'm not sure I want
You ready?
to Are you serious?
Yeah, dude, you don't like the energy of it?
I want my face.
No wonder I have
Okay,
I want my face and my voice blurred.
Okay, let me get you.
Was that a man?
Brock, this is the ISIS stuff I got you.
Hibiscus tea?
Yeah, ISIS hibiscus tea.
This is not ISIS. This is fake.
I want real ISIS tea.
It's just tea.
Is it actually by like ISIS though?
No, it's just a brand called ISIS. Just for
Wow.
Americans. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up the video.
Oh my God, you just
okay,
called
see
stupid
you guys later.
That's the end of the video. See you later. Oh my God, I called the stupid American.
Stupid Americans. Welcome back to the United States.
Eat that up.